So I wrote on my piece of paper, what is a Jezebel spirit? And I learnt this in church. So I got this idea from church when the pastor was talking about Jezebel spirits and how Jezebel, she fights for what is not hers. And I said, oh, that's true, There's so many Jezebels walking around posing as good people, Christians, and they're actually here to still kill and destroy. And they're actually trying to, like, the pastor said something mad. He said, when you're younger and you put your shoe on the ground, and then there's two people that have left their shoe there, but they're both fighting for your shoe. How can you be fighting for what's not yours? That is the whole purpose of a Jezebel. Now, a Jezebel is controlling and manipulative. And I'm very sure we've all experienced Jezebel people in our life, whether in school, whether in college, whether at work, whether on the road, strangers, people you know, people you don't know. Just, you've all experienced a Jezebel, so you know what a Jezebel is. And these are the characteristics of a Jezebel spirit. 1, extremely controlling and manipulative. Has to be all about them, has to have it their way. And these are high-level Jezebels. What they do is they pretend to be wounded, and they can even cry on cue. Like, they will cry and they can pretend to be wounded just so, like, people will have pity for them and feel sorry for them and think, okay, whatever bad behavior this woman is doing, she can get away with it because look, she's crying. That's number 1. Extremely controlling and dominative. They have to dominate everywhere. Like, they will even, something that's yours, they will dominate. Like, for example now, you're both working at the train station and you're both driving the train, and you're allowed to drive the train, you're allowed to be in the driver's seat, but they want to be in the driver's seat. You're both in the classroom, teacher has assigned you to be class rep, but they keep telling you what to do and telling everyone what to do. People like that dominate, spirit of domination. When they do this in spirit of dominate, they want to dominate everybody. That's a Jezebel spirit. Number 2, they claim to be messengers of God. They claim to be prophets and prophetesses of God. The reason why they do this is because obviously no one is going to come and sexually kind of seduce you and say evil things, and you're going to be like, oh, this is a good woman, like, I'm going to listen to what she's going to say. No, they know anyone that speaks of God or speaks of, Jesus Christ is the truth. So if they're playing as messenger and prophetess or whatever, or prophet, you're going to believe, okay, this is a spiritual leader, so I'm going to follow what this spiritual leader is saying because she's talking about God. And some people are out here giving you the wrong information and effing up your life because they're claiming to be messengers of God and they're claiming to be in light. They don't even go church, yet they're talking more than the pastor. They don't even read the Bible, yet they're preaching on social media. They don't even pray, but they're calling people. And you know what as well, guys, what's mad? Some of them, they will even use false prophets to help them bring you down because they can't do it alone. So they know if they have a prophet that they look like they're around prophets and pastors, it makes them look like a good person. So that's the way they will use that false prophet, who's probably a wizard, to bring you down. Another high-level Jezebel characteristic is they fight for what's not theirs. They steal your energy, your time, your joy, your peace, your ideas, your connections. It's one thing to be inspired, because it's not like to say that I haven't been inspired by people like, raw, I really like that. It's one thing to be inspired, but it's another thing to copy everything from every aspect of your soul, to the way you talk, to the way you walk, to the way you dress, to the way you move, to the way your energy vibrates. They steal energy from you. You will feel depleted after them. They steal your vibe. Once you've become in their presence, they didn't have that energy. Soon as you leave their presence, you're now drained, tired, you can't get up, your energy's bad, and they're all the one that's bouncing. Energy vampire. That is a Jezebel spirit. They steal your joy. You're no longer at peace. You're no longer happy around them. You're just unhappy around them. They've stolen all your joy, all your ideas. They will steal all your creative ideas. If you now got a shoe, a particular kind of shoe, you will now see that shoe that you wore, they've gone and posted it on their business, and everyone's like, oh, this is a good idea. This is a good idea, and you're like, that's the shoe that I was wearing, and you was asking me where did I get those shoes from. All of a sudden, you're posting it on social media as if you came up with that original idea. That's the Jezebel spirit. Another way, they steal ideas, they steal joy, and those people are dangerous because they can even steal your man. They're very, very dangerous. And also, they're immoral. They promote disloyalty and they're extremely seductive. So, one thing to be a woman and to be in your divine feminine energy and to obviously calling your counterpart your soulmate, your mating. But it's another thing to have inappropriate use of your sexuality. To be disloyal, they act like, some of them will even act like they're single. They're not single, they will act like they're single. Some of them will even have 3, 4, 5 boyfriends in the background. That's extreme Jezebel. They'll have 3, 4, 5 boyfriends in the background, and they will act like they're single to draw men in, because obviously they have a purpose to destroy these men. That's a Jezebel spirit. They have no morality, they have no morals. They will sleep with their own family's husband, boyfriend. They will sleep with their own friends, man. That is a Jezebel spirit. Because if you don't have the morals, people can say someone's selfish, but selfish. I think the most selfish thing you can ever do is try and take your friends or your family members' relationship. That is selfish to me. And that's immoral, and that's a Jezebel spirit. They have no morals, they have no values, they promote disloyalty and immorality. And if you argue with them like this is wrong, they twist everything and they change their energy to be in their favor. And then one thing they do as well is, like, even when they're twisting and manipulating everything to be in control and to be all about them, they will still, and they always act like you don't want them to be happy when it's them that don't want you to be happy.